Favorite new IP? Video game, is Barry is denoted up there, in a game.
What else would we be talking about, though, really?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that is there for, but it's okay. Zeke, why don't you start us off? Mr. White-suited, tied up, drop frames host, Ezekiel the Third.
Okay. Favorite new IP in a game? As you guys, if you've ever watched my channel before, or you know me, I got into the SCP kind of stuff within the past few years, and it's really fascinated me. And I look for any games that deal with stuff like that. And in that vein, I picked for my favorite new IP. I picked Pacific Drive because it's got lots of potential to like expand, to have like, you know, DLCs, Pacific Drive 2, like all kinds of different stuff within the SCP universe. I want to see where they go with it. And
Can you define SCP real quick for people that don't know?
Oh, yeah. SCP is Secure, Contain, Protect, which is like X-Files stuff or supernatural stuff. Like
Control is very SCP-y.
Control is probably the biggest name in like SCP stuff, like items, places, people that have special properties, sometimes super duper world-ending dangerous, and sometimes completely mundane and just funny. Whether it's like, you know, a rubber duck that appears everywhere for no reason, or, you know, these anomalies that appear in the, the northwest of the United States, where this game takes place in Seattle, Oregon. I think it's just like, or Oregon, Washington area.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite new IP. It has a lot of potential, and I hope they do more with it.
Yeah. Pacific Drive was a very cool game. I do think it sold well. It seems like it sold well, so I do hope they do more with that. It's also kind of the first of its kind, right? With like the survival situation, but you're a car, or you're driving a car, and that's kind of the situation. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't really seen too much of that. So cool
No,
idea.
it's very cool idea. Very very well fleshed out world that they came up with.
Yeah. Cool. Co, your favorite new IP, parenthesis, in a game.
So I'm going to be honest with you. My favorite IP this year is not from a game I finished, but I'm actually, for many reasons, I'm excited about not only what it means, but I'm excited what it means on a grander scale.
Okay.
And the game that I picked for my favorite new IP, believe it or not, is Black Myth Wukong. And the reason I picked that is because not only is this potentially a foot in the door for a lot of very interesting Western media games to become successful or Eastern media, to become more successful in Western media, which Wukong showed could happen. But I also just really loved that even though I wasn't fully into the lore and story, it was very cool being like this, getting this glimpse into this massive tale that I'd never heard anything of before. And I like the idea of kind of in Lies of P style, like maybe seeing more stuff like this in the future. Also, huge shout out to the developers, because I quit this game. I quit Black Myth Wukong for some relatively specific reasons that they have since addressed. So there's a good chance that I may actually go back and either replay it someday, or at least pick up from where I left off, because they added like in cornerstone features that players were asking for, not just like patched it in, like put in new mechanics specifically for people like me that were complaining about them. So yeah, shout out to them for that. And I have very high hopes for what we're going to see because of this game and its success.
Yep. Fantastic. I think...
Yeah, there's a map now, for those asking. They added a map. And one of the reasons I quit Black Myth Wukong is because I got what's called, I guess the best way to call it is side objective fatigue.
Itis.
Yeah, well, no, it's just, I got to the point where I wanted to do everything, but the game was not giving me the tools to do it in any kind of time-effective manner. And by my fourth time running around the map, seeing the same thing and not knowing where to go and having any idea what I'd done or not done, like I just got to the point where I was like, this is more frustrating to me than it is that I'm having fun. Like I need a map to play this game effectively, because it's not like Dark Souls where you have like big waypoints and it's easy to maneuver around. Like there was a whole lot of repeating terrain in Black Myth Wukong, a whole lot of very similar locations on large maps that didn't have a lot of waypoints. So without a map, it it became very frustrating. So they added a map. I haven't even looked at it yet, but apparently they put a map in, a whole map system, and from what I've heard, it's pretty good. So yeah, that's awesome, and kudos to the devs.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I think Barry, now having seen these choices, was correct to put in a game there, especially for mine, because it's not a new IP, but as far as games go, it is. And it's maybe the first good Marvel game in a very, very, very long time when it comes to AAA stuff. Hopefully they don't do a Marvel Rivals 2 anytime soon. I hope they don't do. Are you listening?
Actually, that's coming out in June.
It didn't work well for Overwatch. How is a Marvel a new IP in a game? I mean, it's a new IP. I don't know what you guys want.
Actually, the IP isn't new at all. The game is what's new.
Yeah,
the IP is actually established and not new at all.
In a game.
Yeah, in a game, exactly.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
We're good.
Just because there's familiar characters in a game doesn't mean the game itself isn't a new IP.
Yes. One of the funniest things that, on that note of it being a new IP, with Rivals, someone compared the skins from Marvel's Avengers to Marvel Rivals. If you want to have a really good laugh, go find that tweet thread.
Oh no.
Because it's really rough.
By the way, as someone in chat is pointing out, the story that Black Myth Wukong was not new IP either. So
yeah, it's one of the oldest stories in the world.
It's one of the oldest, literally one of the oldest IPs ever made. So yeah, we kind of have to have some liberties there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you have a game with like a historical figure in it of any kind, that means it can't be a new IP. That's like, taking it to an extreme, but that's what you're saying. Like,
we're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
So anyways, that's our favorite new game, favorite new IP. Let's see what the community voted for. I don't know. Any guesses on what the community would vote for?
See, this one's tough because I think they're going to have the same issue we had with just defining what the options should be. Honestly, I have maybe Metaphor. I bet you Metaphor.
Okay.
I'm with Chad. Metaphor or Balatro.
Okay, let's see what it is. We're gonna hit toggle community, maybe show community. Barry, hit the thing. It doesn't work. Barry
can't even run his own show. Jesus Christ.
Okay, look, he'll just tell me the answer because the buttons don't work for community for some reason. It was actually Metaphor. 20%. 20%.
Nice.
Voted for Metaphor. Second place was Balatro. Oh, wow. Balatro and Satisfactory tied.
Tied.
Ow.
8% of the vote went to Balatro and Satisfactory for second place.
Dude, the idea of a Satisfactory 2 just gave me a massive gamer boner. Oh my God. I never even thought about that. But
we'd have to wait like another decade.
It'd have to be a long time. Yeah. Oh,
it's
God.
weird to think that Satisfactory counts, but it does because,
of course, yeah.
Just because it's been around forever, it came out this year or last year.
There were 3 incredible games that have been in development for many, many years that came out in 2024. It was very cool.
Yeah.
There's that classic Barry overlay reload to fix the bug.
Yeah.
There it is.
There we go.
Hey, look at that. There it is.
Yeah. Fantastic. It makes sense. But yeah,
Joey Castle says, man, Balatro is very fun, but holy heck, the love it's getting is insanely weird. I feel the same way. I played Balatro for 6 hours and I was like, this is an okay game. I don't really understand the huge Balatro stuff either, but it's each their own, and more power to the people that love it. But I was done with, I had a good time with it, but I was done with it after 5 or 6 hours. Don't need to play it again. We're good. I know what that game is, and it's a pretty cool game, but I never would have guessed it would have had what it has now.
Yep.
Is Metaphor really a new IP? I mean, it reuses a lot of characters from Persona and SMT games. It does. It uses the Frosty guys, and those guys are in it. Come on now.
Yeah, look,
it's basically a Persona game, right? I mean, it's basically a Persona game.
In an industry where sequels are the only kind of sure thing, you have to stretch what a new IP is a little bit. I think that's just how it goes. I think that's
No,
what
I was
Sal
just
goes.
pushing back. I liked your choices for new IPs. I didn't
Yeah.
mind those choices at all. I was pushing back against people who didn't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Everyone's got an opinion.
It's
Let's
just
move
a
on.
reskin Persona
That's
game.
right.
I like that.
It is.